Hi, welcome to EtherAuthority. In this video, we'll talk about the basic introduction about blockchain and the smart contract. If you search for the Google for the blockchain, you will find a ton of information. But if we can talk about the blockchain, then the blockchain is a growing list of records called block. So it's a chain of blocks. Now blocks are and they are linked using cryptography, and each blocks contain a cryptographic hash of previous block, timestamp, and transaction data. So that's basically the blockchain. So in this picture you can see these are the chain of the block, and the block is which contains the it's a set of data. So there are a couple of data inside the block, and that will be hashed with cryptographic like SHA-256 or any other algorithm to make a hash, and that hash will be used in another block hash and the timestamp and other data. So all these things consist of a block. So blockchain is basically a chain of block, and this runs on a distributed network. So basically the data is not stored on one server, but that's stored on multiple servers, and they all are in sync with each other. So that's a distributed ledger technology. That's called a blockchain. You can read about it. There are a couple of videos in the YouTube if you want to go deep into this. But in essence, that's the blockchain. It's a distributed ledger technology. The data stores on multiple servers, and they are linked with each other in a block. Block is a set of data. Show you what the block explorer is. Block explorer. Okay, now before that, there are a couple of platforms for the blockchain. There are private blockchain. The one we are working now is Ethereum blockchain and Tron blockchain. And the another one is Tron network. This is the Ethereum blockchain. This is a open source decentralized. This is the platform for open source decentralized applications. We can build here application on the blockchain. So this is the platform for the decentralized applications. And this one is for the Tron. Basically Tron and Ethereum both are the similar one, but they have done little changes in the algorithms, consensus algorithm. This is Tron. Okay, that's it. Now a couple of things I want to discuss is how we can visualize the information in the block. So there is a website called EtherScan. This is called Block Explorer. Block Explorer means it visualizes the data inside the block. Here you can search for any address, transaction hash, block number, or other things. You can search for this one. Now these are the latest blocks. So as you can see, this is the chain of the block. So the blocks are generated every couple of seconds. So this is the block. If I can click on the block, it will give all the information about that particular block. In this particular block, there is a transaction hash. There are a couple of transactions inside the block. This is the miner. Miner means the one who confirms the block, and all other details about the block. This is the block information inside the block. Okay, and these are the latest transactions. So basically this is EtherScan to explore the blocks. You can search for the transaction hash, or you can put any block number, whatever block number, and it will pull up the information about the block. Okay, it took the token. Okay. So this is the EtherScan for the block explorer. Now let's talk about the smart contract. Smart contract is basically a software runs on the blockchain and which is used for decentralized applications. So we'll be using the smart contract. I'll show you the example of the smart contract. Okay, so this is the main Etherscan. There are a couple of networks. This is the main net, and there are also test net. So let's go to test net first. Yeah, there are a couple of test nets like Ropston, Cowan, Rinkeby, Gorley test net. So let's go to Rinkeby test net. So this is another chain, another blockchain, but this is only for testnet. So I'll show you a smart contract, which is a software, a small program that runs on the blockchain, included in the blocks. All the transactions and everything happens inside the block. So this runs inside on top of the blockchain. So every smart contract has a contract address. This is a unique address for every smart contract. These are the transactions happening on this particular smart contract. And if I can show the code, then this is the code. This is written in the Solidity language called Solidity, which is very similar to JavaScript, but it's run on Solidity. Now basically, when developing a decentralized application, we have to call these functions of the smart contract. So let's say these are the functions, transfer function, or let's say this is a transfer function. So basically, all these functions we have to call from our application. Here you can see all the read contract. So here are all the read functions. So what's the name of the name? These are the functions. So this should be called from the GUI, from our application. Now we can create any type of application. So one example is a decentralized exchange we created. So basically all the process, this is the exchange of the crypto digital assets, cryptocurrency access. And all this process happening, let's say here the users want to let's say if user want to deposit this particular name called token. This is one kind of digital asset and it's on a smart contract. So if they want to do any kind of process, then basically it calls a smart contract function. So this is the smart contract for this particular application. So in here, if you can see all this contract, and we can call all their functions, right, for performing any actions. So let's say here I want to deposit this token. Then in the deposit, basically there will be a function, JavaScript function. It takes this ID, and in the JavaScript we call this function using JavaScript and call this deposit function. So basically there should be a deposit token function. Deposit token. So we basically call this function with this parameter, this address of the token and amount. And then we just call this function and the entire process will happen on blockchain. So this website GUI is just an interface, but the main process happens, everything happens on the blockchain. So even if this website goes down or there is some problem with the server or anything happens, the process all works on its own because it works on the smart contract. People can come here and also can call these functions directly. So they don't need our website. They can, this is write contract. So in the write contract, they can call write function. There are two types of functions. One is read and one is write. So write, it will write the data on the blockchain smart contract, and read is just read information from it. So these are the two types of transaction types. We'll talk about this later while we developing a decentralized application. So this is just an overview. You can go to these websites and look around and just get familiar yourself with this. This is the block explorer, this is the smart contract, and these are the functions we can call in our application. So this is one application. There are so many types of application we can develop, which are the decentralized, runs on the smart contract blockchain. So this is what we can do. So yep, that's it. Thanks very much, and we will talk on another video.